Shiboy and Guru in the house, back with another bang on video where, ladies and gentlemen, Premier League clubs are doing something special for you guys. So within 2 days we're going to have a lot of Premier League games rushing and bushing, and the Premier League is going to be hitting us soon. So more on this one, and what did Darren Bent say, and why exactly a new winger is being linked with Arsenal. More on it. Keep watching the video. And what did Pep Guardiola say about facing Mikel Arteta for the first time? Well, this is the Indian Gooner. If you like what you see, if you consider getting daily Arsenal news for your benefit, do subscribe to this channel. We are on a mission of reaching 5,000 subscribers as soon as possible. So, the first news is Premier League home teams can blast out walk-on music for their subs from tomorrow night. With all games in empty stadiums, top flight chiefs want to try and restore some advantage to the hosts, so clubs can play music at key moments, including after goals and for subs. It is unclear whether players will have individual tunes or use the same music. West Ham will run out to Bubbles when they play Wolves on Saturday. A club source said, after You'll Never Walk Alone, it's probably the most distinct club song in the Premier League. So that is going to be Liverpool's go-to song. But moving on, well, as I said before, Gabriel Martinelli and Bukayo Saka have been named in the 100-person shortlist for 2020 Golden Boy Award. The prestigious accolade recognizes the best footballer in the world aged 21 or under, and was won by Atletico Madrid's hotshot João Felix last year. Martinelli, who's 18 years of age, has impressed in his debut season in England with 10 goals, including a crucial strike at Chelsea, while Saka, also 18, has enjoyed a breakthrough campaign, filling it at left back and making 29 appearances across all competitions, while William Saliba, due to arrive at the Emirates soon, is on the list as well. From former winners of the Golden Boy Awards include Kylian Mbappe, Raheem Sterling, Sergio Kun Aguero, Cesc Fabregas, Lionel Messi and Wayne Rooney. Well, also, yesterday was a busy day as Marcus Rashford put pressure on the government to reverse their decision to refuse free school meal vouchers to children in England over the summer. And at Arsenal, Mikel Arteta claimed he is feeling pretty positive the Gunners can reach an agreement to extend Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's whole situation. But moving on, well, Manchester City face 4 games in 16-day shootout if they are to lift the Champions League for the first time. UEFA are set to confirm on Tuesday that the business end of the tournament will be completed by a last 8 mini World Cup to be held in Lisbon in August. Pep Guardiola and his City side will discover the result of their Court of Arbitration for Sport appeal against the UEFA's 2-year European ban by the middle of the next month, and 3 weeks later, City restart their Euro quest by playing Real Madrid in the last 16. Having won the first leg 2-1, all 4 uncompleted matches will be played over the weekend of August 7th and 8th. UEFA then plan to use the 2 major stadia in Lisbon for the remaining games, with the quarter-final ties played as one-off matches held on consecutive nights between August 12th and August 15th. Semi-finals will be held on August 18th and 19th before the final at the Stadium of Light on August 23. So it's going to be a huge month of August for the European champions and for the European clubs. Well, moving on. Well, talking about it, all-time Premier League first division table about points. Liverpool are on top. Arsenal are not far off. But Manchester United, ladies and gentlemen, have raked in. They're 4th on the list, surprisingly, but they've got in very less amount of matches compared to Everton, Arsenal and Liverpool. Well, talking about it, the Gabonese national team manager Patrice Neveu has actually spoken about Aubameyang. He says, I often talk to Oba and his father, and I'm obviously interested in his intentions for his future. But all of this remains strictly confidential. This is a very delicate issue. For my part, I am sure that he will play for a great European club. And talking about Aubameyang's link to Inter Milan, he says he also knows how to exploit the qualities of his partners to create holes and opportunities. If Steven Zhang and Antonio Conte put him at the top of their list, I have no doubt that Conte would turn him into a real machine. Well, moving on. Manchester United have now made a move for reported Arsenal target Willian. Contacts have been established by the Red Devils, who wish to bring experience to a talented but very young attack. Real Madrid would have been interested in his profile but were reluctant to offer him the 3 years requested by the player and his agent Kia Joorabchian. It is now Manchester United who are willing to meet his demands. Well, talking about it, Arsenal are keen on continuing with Dani Ceballos beyond the end of this campaign. Arteta now more convinced than previously. With a contract lasting until June 2023 with Real Madrid, it's conceivable Madrid may agree to another loan, which could be to Arsenal's liking. It would also give Ceballos a chance to really showcase himself in London ahead of Euro 2020, set to take place next year. Orkun, Kokchu, and every other talent linked to Arsenal. So if you don't want to miss anything about transfer news, do subscribe to this channel, and let's move on to the next news. Well, Mikel Arteta was asked if qualifying for Champions League could convince Aubameyang to stay at Arsenal. He said, "I think that will help to persuade anybody, but we are very lucky to have the club that we have right behind us." Hector Bellerin, Sead Kolasinac and Kieran Tierney are all fit for the Premier League restart, with Callum Chambers and Lucas Torreira the only players unavailable for the trip to Manchester City. Well, talking about it, Pep Guardiola spoke in his pre-match conference. He said, "I'm excited to see Mikel again, one of the nicest people I have ever met. The game belongs to the players. We know each other and he knows everything of us. He's an incredibly important part of our recent success. He helped us be who we are." That's really huge, isn't it? Great praise from Pep Guardiola to Arteta. I think that is really huge. But also, more on it, Guardiola says he messaged Mikel Arteta 90 minutes ago. So it's pretty much clear that they're still having a very good bond about it. Well, not only that, let's move on. Sky Sports have made free-to-air admission for Arsenal, Chelsea and Spurs fans. So you guys, if you can make something out of it, do it. But moving on. Well, Mikel Arteta on his Zoom press conference call, it shows how less adept he is to technology. He says, "First of all, I hope everyone is there. I can't see anybody, but I hope you guys are all well. I miss you a lot. It's been a long process. We've been through very different stages, but now we are really excited and back doing what we want." Yes, truly. Unbelievable, isn't it? Well, Marcus Rashford, ladies and gentlemen, has raised the issue, as I said, and the government now has overturned its decision. The government capitulates and agrees to spend £120 million on supermarket vouchers to give to children on free school meals in summer holidays. And that's really huge, isn't it? Well, Marcus Rashford, I mean, this is how you should use your fame, actually. It's unbelievable, isn't it? You bring about a change which is necessary. Well, moving on. Pep Guardiola has promised he and pal Mikel Arteta are going to share a glass of wine tomorrow night if they are allowed to. The Manchester City boss said, "I'm excited for the fact to see him again, one of the nicest people I've ever met. The feeling I have is he's happy there and doing an incredible job, so I am looking forward to seeing him tomorrow." We sent a message 1 hour ago, 1.5 hours ago. It was about the wine we are going to drink after the game, if the social distance allows us to drink it. I mean, Pep Guardiola is one of a kind, isn't he? But Ainsley Maitland-Niles has appointed Raheem Sterling's agent Eddie Ward as his new representative amid talks that he could leave Arsenal. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, Bayer Leverkusen's Leon Bailey are also on Ward's books. Negotiations over Bukayo Saka's new deal is proving tough for Arsenal, but they will be hopeful that the versatile right-back doesn't do the same. Arsenal legend Ian Wright believes Bukayo Saka is right in stalling over a new contract as Arsenal look to tie the starlet down to a bumper deal. He said he's right, him and his representatives, to hold out as best they can because he's the future of the club. They cannot afford to let a player like this leave. When you look at what Callum Hudson-Odoi has done, and he's a younger player, he's a year younger, the contract he signed, Saka's representatives will be saying, "Why should I sign for any less?" I believe he would sign, but I do think him and his reps are doing the right thing by dragging it out to get the best deal they can. Arsenal is the right place for him at the moment. Now, I slightly disagree with this whole thing, because if Bukayo Saka is actually holding out for a better contract, he's earning 3k a week. Now, that's really, really sad. But if Arsenal are even giving him 30k a week, that's 10 times what he was, he used to earn. And if Arsenal make him sign a 5-year contract, you don't even have to look or bother about Bukayo Saka for the next 3 years if you do that. So I think at the end of the day, there is certain limitations in terms of a club offering wages to a player. So I think from 3k, I think it's a very huge margin for Bukayo Saka to actually get a big amount of money, big chunk from Arsenal. Well, moving on. Well, Ali McCoy has spoken about Arsenal getting Aubameyang to sign a new deal. He says he cannot believe it that Arsenal can make him do that, because here are his main points. He said, "If I was a betting man, I think he will leave the club. This will be his last big deal in terms of his value. The opportunity to go and win things like the Champions League. So probably that would be the priority for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang right now." Well, Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta says he has been impressed by Eddie Nketiah in training ahead of Wednesday's clash against Manchester City. He says, "We treat Eddie as an important part of our squad. We had to make an important decision not to let him go on loan again after the spell he had at Leeds. I watched him train and I was very convinced he was the right player for us to move us to the next level and that he can contribute in a big way to the way we want to play. He has been fantastic so far." Well, the Arsenal are linked again with a much better option, Leon Bailey. Well, yes, Leon Bailey, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, Manchester United have entered the fray for Arsenal target Leon Bailey, and Manchester United are interested in Jadon Sancho, and also that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is looking to at a cheaper alternatives than Jadon Sancho. And Bayer Leverkusen's Leon Bailey, who is thought to be somewhere around £40 million, is definitely a target for Manchester United, a former Arsenal target.